Should you get a Ledger or a Trezor hardware wallet? In this video, I'll compare the 4 main wallets from the 2 brands and then give you my personal experience. Having used all 4 of these wallets right here, I can tell you the specific differences and who they're suitable for, and I'll leave timestamps for everything down below. The first thing to look at when getting any hardware device is, does it actually support the coins that you want to send to the device? So what we've got here is the Ledger devices on the left and then the Trezor devices in purple on the right. And what you can see is there are some price differences between these models. We'll get onto that later, but the first thing is the coin support. So as we can see on the Ledger side, both of these devices, the cheaper and the more expensive version, support the exact same amount of coins, which is really, really good. The S Plus was upgraded to actually bring it in line with the more expensive Nano X. So that's a great use case for both of those devices. And it has much more support than the Trezor devices, as you can see. Now, Trezor is still really good. And if you're just using Bitcoin, ETH, and some other major cryptos, you're going to be absolutely fine. But you can see side by side, Ledger is way ahead in terms of the amount of coins that are supported. So what we can do is go to the official stores. I'll leave links to the official stores in the description. If you're getting one of these devices, you might as well get it from the official store, because if there's a fake or a preloaded device going around, which is a possibility if you get it from a dodgy site, then that's not good, and do not use those. So make sure you get all of your hardware devices from the official stores. Also, when you download the software for these devices, which is really important as well, which I'll get onto in a second, you can download it from the official websites as well, just to be safe. So on the Ledger site, as you can see here, all of the major coins are supported: Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, Polkadot, Binance, Cardano, Tezos, Solana, all supported. Now, anything built on top of Ethereum, like USDC, USDT, it's all going to be supported as well. So no issues there. Now, for Trezor, it's not the same story. So as we can see here, the most popular coins are supported on both. So the Model 1 and the Model T support Bitcoin, Ethereum, and ERC20 tokens built on top of Ethereum are also supported in Trezor. So again, Tether, USDC, if you're using the Ethereum blockchain, you're going to be fine. However, as we come down, you'll see Solana and Polkadot not supported at all on any of these devices. Cardano is only supported on the Model T and not the Model 1. And so what you'll have to do here is just search for the crypto that you want to hold and interact with and see if it's supported. It may be that the Trezor wallets hold and support all of the coins that you're interested in, and so no issues there. But just on paper, the Ledger devices, especially having the cheaper version support the same amount as the more expensive version, definitely is a good use case, but that's going to be up to the individual user. A quick note on pricing as well. As you can see, both of these brands have 2 versions. They have an entry-level model and then a more expensive model with some bells and whistles and some more support for different things. We'll go through the list of why you should pay more or not for these devices right now. But as we can see, you have the Nano X and the Model T. They are the premier versions, premium versions with $150 and $220 price tag. May change depending on where you live in the world and shipping. But then you have the cheaper versions. So the Model 1 here is the cheapest, but then you have the S Plus, which is $10 more. So really, they are going head to head with the S Plus and the Model 1, and then the Nano X and the Model T. And there are some differences which we'll get onto. Coming to the hardware of these devices, they're all fairly similar in size. They all have a USB-C connection in the device, and then they come with a USB-C to USB-A cable, so you can plug it into your computer and actually load the wallet for the first time. And then if you want to interact with the wallet, you obviously have to plug it in to use the software as well. The standout here is the Trezor Model T. It does have a touchscreen. It does look good. It's good to use. However, I don't think it's really a massive advantage over the others. Even the Trezor Model 1 and the 2 Ledger devices, they have 2 buttons, and you can get all of the same stuff done with those buttons as well. It is slightly easier to do it with a touchscreen, but you are paying for that extra as well with the price of the Model T. When you create a wallet on these devices, they're going to give you a recovery phrase or a seed phrase that actually is your wallet. And so if you lose one of these devices or it gets broken or something, that doesn't matter. You can just take the recovery phrase and buy a new device and then just reload your same wallet, and you have all of your coins there. So 24 words is what you get on the Ledger devices. I think the Model 1 defaults to 24 words as well. I think the Model T was 12 words when I used it, but you can change this around in the settings as well, so no need to worry there. Now, this is really safe. You just have to make sure that you keep your seed phrase as safe as possible, because this hardware wallet has nothing on it. It just logs into the blockchain. And so this recovery phrase is really important. What some people do is use the crypto tag or crypto steel devices, where you can basically just etch or stamp your recovery phrase into a plate of steel. Some of them give you letters that you can just line up in a row as well. It is slightly more when you're buying the wallet, but it's a lot safer than just writing it down, because that 24 words is your wallet. And if the hardware device gets lost, you need those 24 words. Something else that people do is take a photo of the words on a camera, plug in a USB stick to the camera, do not connect it to the internet, and then encrypt the USB stick if they can on their computer when it's not connected to the internet. There's some pros to that, because obviously if someone steals a steel plate from you, they can just read your seed phrase. With a USB stick, it's going to be encrypted and they don't know what it is, but USB sticks can fail. So there's pros and cons to every method right here. But as you can see, that's something that people can do. Now, the Model T has something special, which is known as Shamir Backup. This is an extra security step that only the Model T has. What is Shamir Backup? Well, essentially, usually you get a 24-word seed phrase and you write that down. With Shamir Backup, you can create shares of that seed phrase, essentially making it a list of hundreds of different words. And what you can do is split all of those shares, they're called recovery shares, up. So let's say you want to, get a 16 recovery share from the device. So they're going to give you a list of words 16 times over, and then you can just spread that out geographically in different places or whatever. And then you can say, I want to unlock the device if 5 of those shares are given at the same time. And this just means that you can, increase the surface area that essentially if someone steals 1, 2, 3 of the shares, they still won't be able to actually reload the wallet. Now, with the normal backups, that isn't possible. You just get 24 words. You could potentially split these up as well. Maybe just write them down and then split them up into 3 different, crypto steals or something like that. Maybe you want to do that. There's different options around it, but Shamir is way more than that. It's using the backup and it's creating many more words. A lot of them are decoys in terms of the words. They can't be used together. You need a certain amount. So Shamir is for, I guess, if you're holding, generational wealth on here, then you can do that. But honestly, the others, as long as you have, good practices keeping your seed phrases safe, then you should be absolutely fine. Both Ledger and Trezor have software that you must download in order to create the wallets on the hardware devices. It's called Ledger Live for Ledger, and it's called Trezor Suite for Trezor. So Ledger Live is fantastic. It lets you create different wallets and addresses. It lets you manage all of the different blockchains on the device very easily. And the best thing about Ledger Live is really the Discover tab, which is essentially like an app store for crypto. So a lot of the most major and most popular DeFi applications, basically you can use them directly within Ledger Live, and you don't have to go online and search for the websites and link up a MetaMask wallet to your hardware device. You can just use it directly within Ledger, which I think is a better use case for a lot of people. And it does everything that you would need it to do. With Trezor and Trezor Suite has come a little bit after Ledger Live, and so it's playing catch up a little bit. It's definitely not a robust app store in the way that Ledger is. However, it does everything you need. You can load up your devices, you can create new addresses, and you can create like a savings address and a spending address and everything like that. And you can see all of the coins that you have, the prices of them, and you can send and receive coins from here. And it is getting better all of the time. Trezor are working on this a lot more right now. With Trezor as well, though, you can also just link it to an Exodus wallet. Exodus is fantastic software. If you go to products right here, you can see Trezor hardware wallet. They have an official link up, and so they are, supported officially by Exodus. Now, Exodus is much more interactive. You can see here, you can use DEXs, you can stake within the Exodus wallet app as well. And all you do is link up your Trezor device, sign transactions on the hardware wallet, but use it within an account within Exodus. And so you've got options here. And I would say, for everyone, for what you need to do, both of these are going to be absolutely fine. Ledger maybe is a little bit more streamlined in terms of everything is right in Ledger Live. Now let's come to some extra details about these devices, which are definitely going to sway you as to which one that you'll want to get. We'll start with the ledgers right here. Why is the Nano X twice the price of the Nano S Plus? It's because this thing right here, the Nano S Plus, doesn't have a battery or Bluetooth. And so this thing, you cannot use it without plugging it in. It just doesn't turn on until it plugs into a source that can actually feed it with power. And that means the S Plus cannot be used with an iPhone. It's just impossible. iPhone obviously block this as well. And so if you have an iPhone, you cannot use it with the S Plus. If you have an Android device and an OTG cable, you can plug it into your Android device. Again, it's not the best, but it is possible to actually have it on and obviously start the thing up. So this thing is good for computer at home use, really, or if you have an Android device with that OTG cable, you can do that workaround as well. With the Nano X, this thing is a bit heavier because I just picked it up, and it has a battery inside, which means you can turn this thing on independently and connect it via Bluetooth to your phone, either Android or iPhone. And that means if you download the Ledger Live app on your iPhone or Android device, which is really good, you can see the transaction, and you can sign transactions without a cable because this thing has a battery, and so you can use it independently. So that's why it's double the price, because it has a battery and Bluetooth, and you can use it with an iPhone by connecting it with the Bluetooth, sign transactions anywhere you want without a cable. When it comes to the Trezor devices, neither of these have Bluetooth right now, and so you just cannot use them with an iPhone in any way as a standalone device like you can with the Nano X. You can, of course, plug them in directly to an Android device, no issues, as long as you have the correct cable, and it will take charge from the Android device so it can turn on. However, the Android app is coming soon for these devices, and so if you really do want to use your hardware wallet with a phone, for right now, as we're making this video anyway, it's going to be a little bit difficult with the Trezor devices. They're really more for at-home, offline sort of things to make sure that your crypto is as safe as possible, whereas the Nano X does give you a little bit of flexibility with actually being able to connect it up to a phone much more easily without a cable. All of these wallets are going to keep your crypto safe in exactly the same way. There are no differences there. It just comes down to connectivity and software options and which one you think suits your needs versus the other. I'll leave the links to the official stores down in the description so you can see more details on all of these devices. I'm James, this is Money's EG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.